Yo, what's good, Jets Nation? This is Jets Media, bringing you guys the next episode on the series I created on my channel when I break down each player on the New York Jets. And as you guys can tell from the title, I will be talking about the New York Jets' new cornerback, Pierre Desir. Before I get into the video, just want to mention you guys can follow me over on Twitter and Instagram at NYJetsMedia for all New York Jets content. And another thing I want to mention before I get into this video, I will be launching a brand new podcast coming this Sunday, so 2 days, and it's with me and loyal New York Jets fans on Instagram, and we titled Loyal Media. So stay tuned on this channel for a talk show podcast on Sunday on this channel, and also the podcast will be uploaded on Apple and Spotify in the future, so make sure you stay tuned for those. Me and Ali are really excited for this podcast. With that being said, let's jump right into Pierre Desir. As we know, the Jets signed him in the offseason, and it was a pretty shocking signing just because I did not expect Pierre Desir to be available. Going into the free agency period for the Jets, I did not expect Pierre Desir to be available because he was a really good player on the Colts in 2018, and he was on contract. I did not expect him to get cut. He gets cut, Jets are on top of it right away. He gets on the phone with Greg Williams, and that's it. All you got to do is get on the phone with Greg Williams, and he'll pitch you to join the New York Jets. That's really awesome that we have Greg Williams, and he's a big reason why he joined the Jets. And also we have former Colt Nate Harrison, and we traded for Quincy Wilson. So it's kind of like we have a lot of Colts guys on this defensive back group. So going into Pierre Desir, he was excellent in 2018 and 2017, and he kind of fell off the board in 2019. He was not himself. And I think the reason why is because the Colts changed their system. They went from a man-to-man defense to a zone defense, and Pierre Desir is more of a man-to-man press cornerback. So he struggled in 2019 with injuries. He played 12 out of 16 games, and he just wasn't himself. You know, you can see the difference between a Pierre Desir man-to-man versus zone. I don't know if you guys know this game, but I'm pretty sure Pierre Desir locked down DeAndre Hopkins on prime time and just made DeAndre Hopkins look like a bum, basically. And that's what you want from our new cornerback one. I do not think he's going to be our cornerback one for the future. This is just a 2020 signing. He was a one-year deal, so I don't expect him to be our guy for the future. But we definitely needed a guy to fill in that CB1, CB2 role, especially when we got rid of Trumaine Johnson and Dale Roberts finally. So I'm excited that the Jets went out and got Pierre Desir because he has a lot of juice left in his tank. I think he is 29 years old, and I'm going to bring you guys his strengths and weaknesses and his stats from 2019 and my projected 2020 stats. So let's jump right into that. Here are his 2019 stats. Remember, he played 12 out of 16 games, so I think these are going to drastically improve if he plays all 16. He had 45 total tackles, 33 solo tackles, 12 assisted tackles, 3 interceptions, and 11 pass deflections. These are decent numbers. If you look at his 2018 stats, they're way better across the board. So I think this is going to be a guy who is going to thrive in a Greg Williams scheme because it's so creative and it's more man-to-man than zone. But at the same time, Greg is not just a pure man-to-man or pure zone. He really switches things up all the time, which really drives the offenses insane, which is why the Jets defense was that good last year despite all the injuries. So I think Pierre Desir is going to come in here with a comfortable environment with guys that he's familiar with guys I named like Quincy Wilson and Nate Harrison, and I think he's going to be our CB1 for the 2020. Do I see him in the future? I'm not sure, but I think he can be a solid guy. I'm not expecting him to be excellent or to just all of a sudden be the best cornerback in the AFC East. So here are my projected 2020 stats for Pierre Desir if he plays all 16 games. I think he can come away with 62 total tackles with 42 solo and 20 assisted, and 4 interceptions with 13 pass deflections. I think he's going to rack up way more tackles than he did in 2019 just because Greg Williams' defense is way more downhill and aggressive, and he wants his cornerbacks, he wants every player on the field to tackle the runner and stuff like that. That's why I really love Greg Williams' coaching style. And I think he'll come away with 4 picks. And I know it's only one more than 2019, but I just don't see Pierre Desir getting 5+ interceptions when he's 29 years old. I think he's going to get 4 and 13 pass deflections. I think those are solid numbers, but no, these are not excellent numbers across the board. But if we can get these numbers from Pierre Desir, it'll be a decent year. Hopefully he just doesn't get beat deep. That's the one thing I'm nervous about. So going into his strengths and weaknesses, his strengths is press man-to-man. Like I mentioned, he thrived on the Colts when he was a pure man-to-man corner. His experience, he's been in the league. He's been on the Browns and the Colts. He understands NFL, so it's not like we're getting a super young guy that we have to develop. He's been in the league, so he understands the game of football. His hands, he has decent hands. I put this as a strength because, across his career, he was really good at interceptions and pass deflections, more pass deflections than picks, but his hands are definitely a strength rather than a weakness. His length, he is 6'1" and has really long arms, so he is a guy that can match against those big body type wide receivers. So it's good to see a guy have good length because you need to be able to lock down the number ones, especially now that we have Stephon Diggs in the division. He's not a big dude, but I think a guy like Pierre Desir has potential to lock down a Stephon Diggs. And then last thing I have is resume against elite talent. Like I mentioned, he went against DeAndre Hopkins and completely locked him down. So that does show you that he has potential to really have a really good game. I'm not expecting him to lock down every single wide receiver every single game, but that shows that he has the potential to do that once in a while. And that's what we want from our cornerback one. And some weaknesses, his durability. He did not play all year last year, and he did battle some injuries throughout his career. His zone coverage is a weakness because obviously his man coverage is a strength, so his zone is not as good as his man. Not terrible, but you could tell he was not himself on the Colts when they just went through a complete change on defense and was completely a zone defense. And another weakness is his speed. He is not a speedy corner, so the only thing that worries me is can he get beat deep from really speedy receivers. We're going against a lot of high-flying teams in 2020, like the 49ers and the Bills have Stephon Diggs, like I mentioned, even the Chiefs with Tyreek Hill. So there's going to be a lot of speedy receivers that we're going to go against. So that's one thing I'm worried about is him getting beat deep. So that does it for my strengths and weaknesses for Pierre Desir. To finish off this video, I just want to bring you guys what I expect from him in 2020 and beyond if he is on the Jets. I don't expect him to be, but I do expect Pierre Desir to come in here and be way better than Trumaine Johnson ever was. I think, as we all know, Trumaine Johnson was a complete mess, a disaster from day one. We gave him this huge contract. Not going to lie, I was kind of excited when we first got him, but afterwards I realized I was completely wrong and that was a waste of money. So if he can be anything like Trumaine Johnson and Darryl Roberts, but a little bit better, then I'm happy. This was a move that Joe Douglas made because this cornerback room is lacking a veteran presence, so he is going to bring in that veteran leadership type role. We have so many young guys on this cornerback group. Bryce Hall, rookie. Bless Austin is coming into his second year, who has a lot of promise. Brian Poole's still young, but he's a solid slot guy who I'm really high on. And we have another bunch of depth players. So I feel like this is our only old veteran that's going to really hold the guys together in the locker room. So I'm happy that we have Pierre Desir, and Joe Douglas went out there and saw that he was available when he got cut in the offseason and got him right away on a one-year cheap deal. So I do not expect him to come back in 2021 because I feel like in the 2021 offseason, we're going to try to sign a better name in free agency and even draft another corner because this is definitely a position of need and we need improvement throughout the whole roster. We have a lot of names where we still do not have that bona fide CB1. I'm hoping Bless Austin can potentially develop into that, and I'm hoping Bryce Hall can even eventually develop into that. But right now in 2020, Pierre Desir is number one on the depth chart in my opinion and could be either really good or really bad, or who knows. I feel like it's a big wild card with Pierre Desir. We don't know which Pierre Desir we're getting. Are we getting the 2018 or the 2019 version? Hopefully it's the 2018 version. Obviously, as a Jets fan, that's what we want. So only thing we can do now is wait and see. Time will tell. And I think Pierre Desir will be a solid pickup for the New York Jets. Leave a comment down below what you guys expect from Pierre Desir in 2020. And if you agree with my stat projection, if not, let me hear your guys' stat projection. These are obviously my opinions, and you guys are entitled to not agree with me, so I'd love to hear your opinions down below in the comments. With that being said, that does it for this video. I'll catch you guys in my next one. Let's go Jets! Peace.